Hello. Oh, hello. Oh, how come, how come it's not letting me comment? Let's see. I'll go back. Oh, let's see. Let's try it again. Oh, oh, no, I don't know. There's got to be a way to get it to work. Maybe it's something with YouTube. Let's see. Let's go back to. Oh, I think I know what's wrong. Maybe. Oh, let's go to here. No, that's right. How come well, it's not showing me the title. I thought I said- But when I go over here, um, what if I close? What if I maybe that's the problem. I got too many things opened. Mm, mm. Did I close that? Mm. Oh, wait a minute. I'm trying to get it so that mm, I'm trying to get it so that people can maybe it's not a big deal. So when I go to YouTube, I see um, I see in his history that oh, what if I go like this? Close it and then open it. Okay, I think I fixed it. Now I can say hello. Hello. Okay. Okay. Welcome. Hmm. First of all, I'd like to share. Let's see if I can share. I share that. Okay, let's see if I can share this. Hmm. Oh, Let's sing together. Allah wa ruha, Allah ha ruha. Uh, ruha, I believe, means breath or spirit. And so it's saying God is breath, mm, or consciousness or heart. Malkuta. Malkuta. Yes, we can. No, shall. Very interesting, don't you think? Let's see. Oops, oops. Go back to Zoom. Don't want to stay too long on that, but hmm, there's another. That was a pretty interesting introduction to one of his new books. Let's see. Now I'd like to see if I can. Hmm, see if I can go to Bing.com and then see if I can type in a pizza online, maybe. Let's see, that one's in Spanish. That one's PDFs. Scholarly edition. That could be good. Hmm. This one. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, I got it. So this one, this one allows you to load different things, different verses. So I can load. I can't stretch it out, can I? Oh, in the very top, I can switch over to Matthew 5, and then I can say select Dr. George Lamsa's and compare it to the King James Version. And uh, hmm, but it won't. Uh, it won't show you how to pronounce or see the actual transliteration of the Aramaic. I don't think they have that, but they have trans translated versions or editions. I think they do show the Aramaic code or fonts or script. Let's see, maybe, and then so you select what you want. That's good enough for now. So you could also select other versions of. There's other like there's Dr. John W. Etheridge's English Peshitta. There's Dr. George Lamsa's English Peshitta. Dr. James Murdoch's English Peshitta. Spanish translation. Uh, Greek New Testament. Several different versions. King James Version, Hebrew New Testament, Latin Vulgate, Old Syriac, Sinaitic palimpsests. I don't know if I should select that, but I'll select it anyway. And there's the, the Latin Vulgate and the Spanish. So you select those and then you click load. See what happens. Load. Oh, load versus. There they are. So it's hard to read. Maybe if I switch it over like this. So Matthew 5:1. Mm. So I think the first one is the one in green. I think it's the one in translated from a particular Peshitta, and the next one is another one, and I think the third one is the King James, and the one in light blue is a Latin, and then the last one is in Spanish. So let's let's go let's go to blessed. Okay, so where's blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Uh, the Lamsa, he translates it as blessed are the poor in pride, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. I think the King James version is blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And there's the Latin, beate pauperes spiritu quoniam ipsorum est regnum caelorum. And in Spanish, bienaventurados los pobres en espíritu, porque de ellos es el reino de los cielos. Okay. Blessed are the mourners, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are they who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are they who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Beati mites quoniam ipsi possidebunt terram. Bienaventurados los que lloran, porque ellos recibirán consolación. And so the yeah, the one in green is a translation from Aramaic, and the second one is also a translation from Aramaic. The third one is the King James version, and then the light blue is Latin, and the last one is Spanish. So they're pretty consistent. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Let's see. Blessed they who hunger and thirst unto righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. The King James version says for they shall be filled. That's I kind of like that one. That's the Spanish one that makes me smile, or I find it humorous. Uh, because shall be filled or satisfied in Spanish is serán hartos. Ellos serán hartos. They they shall be hartos. Ah, no, hartos. Hartos. That's a new word for me. I thought I'd have to look. I'd have to look it up. Okay. Okay. Blessed are the merciful. Merciful, for upon them shall be mercy. For to them shall be mercy. Blessed, blessed they who are pure in their hearts, for they shall see aloha. Aloha. That sounds. That sounds like Hawaiian. Aloha. I guess that's another word for God. Elo, or maybe they pronounce it Eloha. Elo, el, similar to Allah. 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 Maybe the last A is to suggest to pronounce the H a little bit. Eloh. Oh, blessed are they who are poor in their hearts, for they shall see God. Blessed the makers of peace, for the children of Eloh shall they be called. Hmm. Blessed they who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Hmm. Blessed are they, blessed are you when they treat you with reviling and persecute you and say concerning you every evil word for my sake in falsity. Then be glad and exult, for your reward is great in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets who were before you. Mm. Then be glad and rejoice, for your reward is increased in heaven. For in this very manner they persecuted the prophets who were before you. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. You are the salt of the earth, but if it happen that salt become tasteless, with what shall it be seasoned? It goes for nothing but to be thrown without and trodden down by man. Let's see. You are indeed the salt of the earth, but if the salt should lose its savor, with what could it be salted? It would not be worth anything but to be thrown outside and to be trodden down by men. Oh. Hmm. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is henceforth good for nothing but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of man. Hmm. You're the light of the world. It is not possible that a city which is built upon a hill could be hidden. You're indeed the light of the world. A city that is built upon a mountain cannot be hidden. Hmm. Nor do they kindle a lamp and place beneath a measure, but on a candlestick, and it enlighteneth all who are in the house. Nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lamp holder, so it gives light to all who are in the house. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. So let your light shine before the sons of men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. Let your light thus shine before men, so that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Mhm. Think not that I came to lose the law or the prophets, nor that I might lose, but that I might fulfill. Do not expect that I have come to weaken the law or the prophets. I have not come to weaken, but to fulfill. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. I am not come. Is that? Mm, yeah, I guess that's the King James. Yeah, the King James has strange ways of saying things sometimes. For truly I tell you, until heaven and earth pass away, not even one jot or a dash shall pass away from the law until all of it is fulfilled. Oh, oh, before that it says, for Amen, I say unto you, that until heaven and earth shall pass away, one yard or one point shall not pass from the law till all be done. Mm. So, so the word Amen could, was used to translate a word that means truly or verily. So Amen could be thought of as meaning, yep, that's true. Or that, okay. Okay, so it's or I am certain. Oh, or there is certainty there. For everyone, no, everyone, therefore, everyone, therefore, who shall set loose one from these least commandments, and shall so teach the children of men, the least shall be called in the kingdom of heaven. But everyone who shall do and teach this shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Oh, so it sounds like there's a class structure in the kingdom of heaven. So, or there would be if the kingdom of heaven arises on earth, or if it has, maybe in a tribe or something. Maybe it has at times. Mm, and how's it translated by George Lamsa? That's the one. That's the first one in purple. Whoever therefore tries to weaken even one of these smallest commandments and teach men so, he shall be regarded as small in the kingdom of heaven, but anyone who observes and teaches them, he shall be regarded as great in the kingdom of heaven. Hmm. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say unto you that unless your righteousness shall abound more than that of the scribes and the Pharisees, you shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Okay. There's a kind of an embedded footnote. It says the scribes, this order of public teachers, the preaching and writing of clergy of the Jews does not seem sufficiently indicated by the word scribes. Hmm. So I think it's suggesting that scribes are like public teachers. Maybe they're public school teachers that preach and write. The preaching and writing clergy of the Jews. It's an order of public teachers that teach, uh, that are able to write and preach. It's a clergy of the Jews. Clergy. Hmm. The Pharisees. So the scribes and the Pharisee. So unless you unless you can be more righteous, more correct, more perfect than the mere scribes and Pharisees, you shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. So there's a cut off line. You have to be superior to the scribes and Pharisees, and maybe you'll be able to enter the kingdom of heaven. Or, in other words, as Dr. George Lamb's translation says, for I say to you that unless your righteousness exceeds that of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. And the King James Version says, for I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. Enter into. I like enter into. It suggests that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's in in one's heart into the kingdom. He shall not enter into. Mm, mm. You have heard that it was said unto them who were before, thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill is obnoxious to the judgment. Well, you have heard that it was said to those who were before you, you shall not kill, and whoever kills is guilty before the court. Hmm? Hmm. You have heard that it was said to those who were before you, you shall not kill, and whoever kills is guilty before the court. Okay. Well, I like the King James translation, the way it says people before you. It's those before you. Instead of saying it that way, it says, by them of old time. You have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. Mhm. But I say unto you that he who is angry against his brother rashly is obnoxious to the judgment, and he who shall say to his brother, thou empty one, is liable to the council, and everyone who says, thou fool, is liable to the Gehenna of fire. Oh, but I say to you that whoever becomes angry with his brother for no reason is guilty before the court, and whoever should say to his brother, Raka, which means I spit on you, is guilty before the congregation, and whoever says to his brother, you are a nursemaid, is condemned to hellfire. You are a nursemaid. It means maybe it's a slang way of saying you are a fool, man. So if you tell your brother you're a fool, you're liable to go to the Gehenna of fire. Okay. So there's different kinds of hell realms. There's a hell, different kinds of hells. There's a hell of fire, and so that means that there's a hell of ice. In other words, there's a hell for of different extremes of different kinds of pains, different. But we generally imagine that there's just hellfire, but there could be an ice hell, a hell of ice, and other kinds of hells. Mm, but let's see. Look at the third one. Same verse, Matthew 5:22. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment, and whosoever shall say to his brother, Raka, oh, Raka shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. So Raka. So Raka means I spit on you. Well, so the action of spitting on someone is not as bad as saying you fool. And saying you fool is not as, I guess, I guess you fool in is it it's an example, but I guess it includes other kinds of I don't know if you could call them curses or name calling, defamation. Mm. So we should avoid defaming others because it could send us into hellfire. Mm. If it occur, therefore, that thou bring thy oblation to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother retaineth some enmity against thee. Let me read the second one. If it should happen, therefore, that while you are presenting your offering upon the altar, and right there you remember that your brother has any grievance against you. Oh, oh, and then the King James Version. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, there rememberest that thy brother hath aught against thee. Mm. And in Spanish, por tanto, si trajeres tu presente al altar y allí te acordares de que tu hermano tiene algo contra ti. So, so this is not a complete sentence, but is awaiting the following verse. So the following verse is a continuation. Oh shit! Uh, yes. Leave there thy oblation on at the altar and go. First he reconciled with thy brother, and then come and offer thy oblation. So the Dr. George Lamsa version says, leave your offering there upon the altar and first go and make peace with your brother and then come back and present your offering. In the King James, leave there thy gift before the altar and go away. No, go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother and then come and offer thy gift. I guess you would have to maybe read verse 23 and 24 without stopping. Then it might make sense. Well, let's, uh, let's see if I can do it. Let's try the second one. If it should happen, therefore, that while you are presenting your offering upon the altar, and right there you remember that your brother has any grievance against you, then leave your offering there upon the altar and first go and make peace with your brother, and then come back and present your offering. Mm, interesting. So I think it's saying that before you go make an offering to, say, your God or whatever, or your holy being, uh, before you do it, you want to make sure that any grievance you have with your brother has been taken care of. Therefore, I bring, I guess, mm, so go make peace with your brother, and then come back and do the offering. Be at one with thine adversary. Quickly while thou art with him in the way, lest thy adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the exactor, and thou fall into the house of the bound. Or the second one by Dr. Lamsa says, try to get reconciled with your accuser promptly while you are going on the road with him, for your accuser might surrender you to the judge, and the judge would commit you to the jailer, and you will be cast into prison. Holy, holy. That seems more obvious or more understandable. The King James Version is agree with thine adversary quickly whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast in prison. Okay, so the Dr. Lamsa helps me understand the others better. Hmm. And in Spanish, concíliate con tu adversario presto, entre tanto que estás con él en el camino, porque no acontezca que el adversario te entregue al juez y el juez te entregue al alguacil, al, al, alguacil, y seas echado en prisión. Mm, mm. And amen, I say unto thee, that thou shalt not come forth from thence till thou hast rendered the last shamuna. That's a minute coin in value 1/8 of the asor or sarios from the Hebrew shemone 8. The number 8, shemone. And in the second translation of that is the Lamsa translation that says, truly I say to you that you would never come out thence until you had paid the last cent. And the King James is, verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out thence till thou hast paid the uttermost farthing. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe it's saying that, yeah, maybe it could be translated as the last penny, the smallest coin in there, in there. in their coinage system, in their mm, mm, okay. Anyway, in Matthew 5:27, you have heard it hath been said, "Thou shalt not commit adultery." Well, I'll go to the next verse to in the same translation. But I say to you that everyone who beholdeth a woman so as that he shall desire her already committeth adultery in his heart. And let's go back and read the second way of translating it by Lamsa is, or that the second one is a translation of the Aramaic by Dr. Lamsa, and he has it as follows: You have heard it said, "You shall not commit adultery." But I say to you that whoever looks at a woman with the desire to covet her has already committed adultery with her in his heart. And then the third one is the King James Version. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, "Thou shalt not commit adultery." But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. Mm. But if thy, this is 528, no, 529. But if thy right eye cause thee to offend, root it out and cast it from thee. It is better to thee that one of thy members should perish, and that thy whole body should fall into Gehenna. Yes, the first, the one in green, tra- a Peshitta translation, but it's in a style that is similar to the English used in the King James version because it uses thys and these and thous. Mm. Uh, so it's compared to the King James version. So it goes, but if thy right eye cause thee to offend, the King James says, and if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out. Pluck it out. The Whereas the one in green, the translation in green says instead of pluck it out, it says root it out and cast it from thee. Uh, so they're pretty similar. One says root it out, the other one says pluck it out. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. Cast into hell. When they say cast into hell, it sounds like you got a bunch of people grabbing you and throwing you into hell. Uh, with the translation in the color green says it says that thy whole body should fall into Gehenna. Okay. And then the let's see, the George Lamsa, that's the second one in purple. Well, the first one in purple, right after the green, it says, if your right eye should cause you to stumble, pluck it out and throw it away from you. For it's better for you to lose one of your members and not all your body fall into hell. Hmm. Um, hmm. Interesting. Hmm. Okay. It's interesting that in the Lamsa it uses the word stumble, whereas the others say offend thee. So yeah, the Lamsa says cause you to stumble. The others say offend thee or cause thee to offend. Hmm. In the Spanish, it says it could it cause you to fall. It could produce an occasion where you would fall. Hmm. Matthew 5:30. And if thy right hand cause thee to offend, cut it off and cast it from thee. Another cast it. Yes, that's whereas the others say cut it off and throw it away from you. Mm. Yeah, that's the Lamsa says cut it off and throw it away from you. Mm. Hmm. Cast into hell. Okay. Oh, look, the King James version decided to use the word Gehenna, but it's spelled Gehennam. Gehennam. Oh no, that's not the King James. That's the Latin Gehennam. Mm. My bad. No, the King James version and the other and one of the Peshitta translations uses hell as does the King James version. But the first Peshitta version, which tries to use ancient English way of speaking or writing, it says Gehano. The Latin is Gehennam. And in Spanish is infierno, inferno. Oh, but I think I like Gehen, Gehennam or Gihano. Hmm. Hmm. 531. It hath been said that he who loseth his wife should give her a writing of divorcement. Hmm? Hmm. And then the 532. But I say unto you that whosoever loseth his wife except on account of the fornication, maketh her to commit adultery, and whosoever taketh her who is sent away committeth adultery. Mm. Mm. It sounds like it's saying like if you get rid of her, if you try to get rid of her, you're making her commit adultery, and whoever takes her commits adultery. Mm. It sounds like if you separate without divorce, then you're causing uh the wife and the person to be committing adultery. Huh. But I say unto you, but the second translation, which is a Lamsa translation, the one in purple says, but I say to you that whoever divorces his wife except for fornication causes her to commit adultery, and whoever marries a woman who is separated but not divorced commits adultery. Let's see how the King James Version says it. But I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causeth her to commit adultery. And whosoever shall marry her that is divorced, committeth adultery. Oh, that one doesn't is not as clear as the George Lamsa version, because the George Lamsa version says, whoever marries a woman who is separated but not divorced commits adultery. So that's more clear than the King James version, because the King James version says, whoever shall marry her that is divorced commits adultery. That's not clear. So it's not too clear. Well, it's not too clear for me because I'm thinking whoever shall marry her that is divorced. Shouldn't it say that is not divorced? In other words, she's not divorced and you marry her? Because it's saying that in the George Lamsa version. It's saying whoever marries a woman who is separated but not divorced commits adultery. So that's interesting. We have to something for debate. 533. Again, you have heard it was said to those before time, thou shalt not lie in thine oaths, but shall fulfill thine oaths unto the Lord. And alternatively, again, you have heard it was said to them who were before you that you shall not lie in your oaths, but entrust your oaths to the Lord. And in the King James Version, again, ye have heard that it has been said by them of old time, thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shall perform unto the Lord thine oaths. Mm, mm. Pagarás al Señor tus juramentos. Uh, in the Spanish says that además habéis oído que fue dicho a los antiguos, no te perjurarás, mas pagarás al Señor tus juramentos. Oh, okay. I'm getting it a little bit. It's saying that so you've heard it back in the old days that you shall not perjury yourself. Hmm. But you can pay the judges your your oaths, maybe. But I say unto you, swear not at all, not by heaven, for it is the throne of Allah. Or, but I say to you, never swear, neither by heaven, because it is God's throne. But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne. Hmm. 535, nor by earth, for it is the footstool beneath his feet in the Hashem, for it is the city of the great king. Oh man, that's a continuation of 534. Hmm. Oh, so you shouldn't swear to God. You shouldn't swear to heaven. You shouldn't swear to earth. You shouldn't swear to Urushalem. Oh, Jerusalem. Okay. Neither shall shall thy thou neither shalt thou swear by thy head, for thou canst not make a single hair in it either black or white. That's Matthew 5:36. Neither shall you swear by your own head, because you cannot create in it a single black or white hair. Oh, maybe it's saying that you shouldn't even swear to your head because without it you can't make one hair white or black grow. Or maybe it's saying that your head of hair won't be black or white. You won't be able to have a head of black hair or black or white hair. Uh, but but instead, let your talk be let your discourse be yea, yea, and nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than these is from evil. Or alternatively, but let your words be yes, yes, and no, no. For anything which adds to these is a deception. Maybe it's saying just answer the question yes or no. Oh, mm, 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 yes, that's that's interesting. The word deception instead of the King James version doesn't use the word deception. Maybe it's a word that wasn't available at that time. But let your it says instead of saying but let your words be yes yes or yea yea. It says but let your communication be yea yea nay nay, for whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil. Mm, that's kind of difficult to understand, but I interpret that. Yeah, like the word deception. Or oh wait, there, the way they translate. Oh yeah. Oh, oh, okay. 538. You have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And the second one by Lamsa says, you have heard that it is said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. In the King James Version, you have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Hmm. That's pretty much the same as the first translation, the one in green. Mm. But I say unto you, I'm in verse 539, but I say unto you that you shall not rise up against evil. But if anyone strike thee on the right cheek, turn to him the other. Okay. And Malta says, but I say to you that you should not resist evil, but whoever strikes you on your right cheek, turn to him the other also. Mm. But I say unto you that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. And 540, and if one will contend with thee to take away thy tunic, leave him thy mantle also. And if anyone wishes to sue you at the court and take away your shirt, let him have your robe also. And if any man will sue thee at the law, take away thy coat, let him have thy cloak also. Y al que quisiera ponerte a pleito y tomarte tu ropa, déjale también la capa. Mm. And if a man compel thee 1 mile, go with him twain. Whosoever compels you to carry a burden for 1 mile, go with him 2. And whosoever shall compel thee to go 1 mile, go with him twain. Mm. Oh, Matthew 5:42. Give to him who asketh from thee, and him who would borrow from thee, refuse not. Mm, mm, mm. Whoever asks from you, give him, and whoever wishes to borrow from you, do not refuse him. Give to him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow of thee, turn not away. Turn not thou away. Mm, mm. Al que te pidiere, dale, y al que quisiere tomar de ti prestado, no se lo rehuses. Thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thy enemy. Yes, you have heard it that it hath been said, Thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. You have heard that it is said, Be kind to your friend and hate your enemy. Ye have heard that it hath been said, Thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. Yeah, the first and third are pretty much the same. Pretty often they are pretty similar or the same. Hmm. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them who execrate you, do that which is good to him who hateth you, and pray for them who lead you with a chain and persecute you. But I say to you, love your enemies and bless anyone who curses you, and do good to anyone who hates you, and pray for them who carries you away by force and persecute you. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, and do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. Huh. Shame. Man. Huh. That thou may be the children of your Father who is in heaven, who causeth his sun to arise on the good and on the evil, and who sendeth showers on the just and on the unjust, so that you may become sons of your Father who is in heaven, who causes his sun to shine upon the good and upon the bad, and who pours down his rain upon the just and upon the unjust, that ye may be the children of your Father who is in heaven, for he maketh his sun sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. Hmm. For if you love those only who love you, what reward have you? Do not even tribute gatherers this? For if you love only those who love you, what reward will you have? Do not even the publicans do the same thing? I guess the publicans are the tribute gatherers. There's this like the not the taxpayers, but the the taxmen. And if you wish peace to your brethren only, what more do you than they? Do not also the tribute gatherers this? And if you salute only your brothers, what is more? Is it more that to what is it more that you do? Do not even the publicans do the same thing? And if ye salute your brethren only, what do ye more than others? What do ye more than others? Do not even the publicans so? Be ye therefore perfect as your Father who is in heaven is perfect. Therefore, you become perfect just as your Father in heaven is perfect. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. Oh. Ah, I'm getting sleepy. Yeah, I went through all of chapter 5 in the Aramaic Peshitta, two different translations, and compared it to the King James Version and sometimes to the Spanish version. But I don't know how to read or pronounce the Aramaic. It's not shown. The script is kind of shown, I guess. Yeah, you can see it. You can see the script. I guess it would be read in the reverse direction, maybe. Or is it, or the words moved around so that individually the words would be read from right to left, but the word order is pretty much the same? I don't know. I'd have to check it out because I found a Peshitta that gives you, they call it lateral. So, so you can see the what each word translates to. But then when you read it's kind of like in reverse Polish notation kind of grammar. Anyway, uh, so what can we take away from this? Oh, we can take a lot away from it. A lot to meditate on. Just yeah, the part, the last parts, yeah, where you the most impressive verse might be the one where talks about love your enemy, and that if they treat you bad, show them the other cheek, things like that. Yeah, when they, yeah, so that's hard to do. But if we did that, yeah, instead of going for an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, then maybe all these wars would end. Maybe. I guess everybody would have to go on board with that and kind of forgive each other for the history, for the betrayals, for the broken promises, the broken treaties, the years of abuse. That would be hard to forget. And so he goes, okay, so oh yeah, so there's a lot to chew on in this chapter. Oh, we could go on forever on it. Oh man. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Uh, we went through the fifth chapter of the book of Matthew, and for how many different translations? Well, two were Aramaic translations. The second one was Dr. Lamsa's. I don't remember the name of the first one. And in the King James version was the third one. See, the first and the third one. The first was very similar to the King James version, like in the style. Dr. Lamsas is just easy to read English, and it sometimes uh, makes it easier to understand the King James version. So I have a few Lamsa uh, books, Dr. George and Lamsa, the New Testament Light and the Gospel Light. So we'll go through these another time. I think you might. And so thank you very much for your attention and for and whatever you got from this. May it benefit you, your life, your loved ones, and may increase your peace of mind and body and speech. And yes, meditate on a few verses that got your attention for a week or for until next time, whenever that might be. Thank you. I dedicate the little virtue or merit that I obtained. I dedicate it and give it away to everyone else.